Hey, my name is Chris, and I feel called to share this story and ask the universe, may the people who need to hear this message receive this message. And may anyone else talking all that trash kiss the blackest part of my ass. So I was thinking about how we cannot know the answer to everything, and even if we had a manual like of self, half of us like have so many unfinished books we might not have read it anyway, and we're just out here winging it. And I wanted to just share a story of sharing compassion with myself, to learn to share compassion with others, because people, when I wasn't, have shared compassion with me, and I want to share compassion with you. Because it's like, I've been driving on a fourth of a tank of gas for like 20 years. It's been a long day without you, my friend. And now gas is all expensive, and I'm like, something. When I see you again. That was a neurodivergence. I had to finish that. And though I don't have all the credentials yet, and accolades, I am grateful. I am thankful. We are truly blessed. And I'm finally becoming okay with the fact that I can enjoy the day and make plans for the future while still realizing there's going to be some ebbs and flows. So like at 21, I had made some sort of mistake, and I was like, I'm never making a mistake again. And at 47, I'm like, not bad, And it's like, for your whole life, you're never going to get everything right. You're never going to know everything. And the way the world seems to be set up, it's like we're distracted with all this BS while this other BS goes on, and it's like about some old world domination or something in a world that is often dark and polluted, and aliens look at it like, no thanks, So I grew up, I was adopted as a baby. My birth mother had been essayed by 4 and turned to substance abuse. And I ended up being adopted as a baby. I was adopted into a very loving and strict military disciplinarian Christian Black Baptist home. And for for the entire time, like, there's always been love, but you know how you can love people and still y'all just clash. And my dad, R.I.P., had said, like, maybe a couple months, maybe a year before that, like, we love each other, we just clash, we're just different, and that's what it is. And I was just like, okay, I'll respect that and understand that. And then all this stuff happened with him having a heart attack, and then passing away this year. And I thought I really didn't know if I was going to connect with my mom after my dad passed, because we have just, again, always clashed. And it was like we had to be brought together in the sense of, like, even though, like, it sometimes felt like double teaming, and everyone outside of the home space looked at me like, well, what are you upset about? And not understanding, like, there are some things I wasn't saying. And anyway, let me not get off track. But because I know I'm not perfect in any way, and I've had plenty of issues too, and I've struggled with substance abuse, and I was a mother early on, and all this other stuff. But anyway, so my dad is now past deceased, and like it went from constant clashing to like my mom and I kind of both being at a loss for words. And so it kind of took a lot of the fight out of everyone, honestly, because he literally can't fight. And she's devastated, I'm devastated, and one of my friends is like, and you all didn't even get along all the time. And I'm like, I know, and I'm literally on my way back to the intensive outpatient program at Western Psych. It's for a whole smithereen of reasons, but that didn't help. And so still, I'm grateful, because I was thinking about the fact that though I'm a single mom and I didn't have the dream wedding of my like fantasies, and though, and I know everybody's boomers are different, okay? So like the day my dad died, I called my mom and I'm like, how are you doing? And she's like, all right. And I'm like, what are you doing? And this could just be a term and phrase. It just like was not what I needed to hear at the time. But she was like, I was just dragging your name through the mud. And I was like, why? Like for what reason? And she was like, well, a friend of mine, her son is the pastor at a very big church. And at this point you could have had, more accolades by now. And I've told her at certain points, like, I know you always feel like I'm not doing enough or I'm not enough or what. And she'd be like, and that's right. And I was just like, and after 45, 46, I was just like, and that's between you and God at this point. I am God's daughter too, and I am not going to try to force my ways on anyone. I agree we can love each other from another space, and I also understand that like it's not like our parents were getting therapy and all this other help while they were sitting there literally fighting for their civil rights. So going through the whole crack, and I don't know if I can say whatever, I don't think I should not be able to, but anyway, the whole thing that has been blamed on people of color all this time, which is pretty much everything. I just lost my train of thought. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, so I told my mom that day, remember, you also have another friend, and her daughter did have all those accolades, and she just unalived herself. So even if I got out of bed today, I am still here. And I didn't rob you. Like, what are we doing? Why do we have to? But then I had to realize it's not like she was burning you with cigarettes either. So it's like there's a give and take, and have to understand that like nobody has it together and everybody needs an IEP plan. It's just like, are you willing to work on that? And it has to be a mutual thing. And now I'm starting to understand like the truth and boundaries equal peace. So I've still backed up from a lot of relationships because I'm just not going to fight or argue about a damn thing. Like, okay. And it's, my son is doing well. He is finally, pray for us, finishing both of my sons are doing well, thank you. And my youngest is finally finishing his last year of school, senior year of high school. And flat out, I'm done. Like, my oldest son is 26. My brain, I smoked away some brain cells and some short-term memory and whatever. So like, I really am actually tired. I have arthritis and tibial posterolalis or whatever in both feet and ankles, and I understand. I'm not saying that my life was like, oh, it was the worst life in the world. No, I'm just saying this is the story of the things that were happening, and I've left some things out. But anyway, damn, I lost my train of thought again. Like I said, I literally, that was 10:10 on the clock. I literally I smoke, I drank, I'm supposed to stop, but I can't, like, for about a decade or so. Um, but here we are. Shit, hold on. Yeah, my mama's friend, RIP. My mama's friend's daughter, who was a little older than me, like maybe 48, 49, literally unalived herself. And I had said to my mom, like, and she's, from the west side of Chicago. She was like, I don't know about this new generation. Like, we would have hurt somebody else, not ourselves. And I was like, well, sorry. People change, seasons change. Anyway, people really will do that though. And it's real and it's not a joke. And I'm not saying but people believe like, oh, they're just talking or they're just, no, some people will really go ahead and kaputskis. RIP, because the second time I was in an intensive outpatient program, I was talking to a guy. Well, it was a group, and this one guy literally cried every day because his teenage son unalived himself. And so I talk to my sons about that all the time and have um, gently insisted on some sort of therapy, even if it's just to talk about me, because I know I'm not perfect. And in the ways that I pray that my children will forgive me for being imperfect, I do my best to forgive my parents for being imperfect. Because what are we doing? We're all out here just trying to figure it out. So at this point, I'm just like, all the accolades and all the stuff, it's whatever. There are people that have lots of money and this, that, and the third, but like, are they someone who in therapy cries saying, like, but I was raised by my nanny and wasn't hugged till I was 25? You know what I'm saying? But I was on a yacht doing it. Like, I don't. So I'm just like, wherever we are, even with a fourth of a tank of gas in the car, we are right where we're supposed to be. And I'm grateful that we're still here. Because there was a time I thought drinking and driving was fun. I was like, this is the bee's knees. And my friends had to be like, yeah, no, that's not. And then I went to, well, I've been in therapy for a long time. I don't know why I'm even getting into that. But whatever your situation is, like, I'm 5 years sober from drinking. And that's after about 13, 14 years of like heavy drinking. And at the end, it was like hiding bottles and drinking up to a fifth of rum or vodka or tequila or something a day, maybe more than that, depending on like if I was out with friends and stuff. And so I'm gonna pat myself on the back with the $14 that I have that I used from Borrow on Cash App and say, I'm proud of you. And I don't know where you're at and how you might be looking at yourself, but I'm proud of your ass too. And it's cute. So cut yourself some slack. I've said this in a couple readings. Sometimes we gotta pat ourselves on the back because we're here. We're still here. We kept going. Dust that shoulder off. Like, I wanted to do a video where I like have a wardrobe and my kids have a wardrobe and we look all cute and fancy and I can sustain that. Like rich people on Instagram. And still I was like, you know what? I don't care at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, people be like, that's why you're bald. Yep. That's why, and you're fat. Anything else? Because you can tell me the sky's brown at this point. Yep, sure. Whatever works for you, babe. Just please Shut the hell up. Get away from me. Anyway, go to therapy. Therapists need to go to therapy, and also just realize everything is all right. And a lot of times it feels like it isn't, but it is. If anybody wanted to throw some money on this gas tank or towards some groceries or whatever, thank you. If not, that's fine. People were asking me, well, what's going on with the job that you have now? And to be honest, I'm on medical leave and going back to Western Psychiatric and reapplying for SSI for the third time after getting a lawyer. And anyone who would roll their eyes at me about this, roll them all you need to. But when people say they're having a hard time and you're like, you got this, and you're like, no, I actually don't got this. No, I actually still don't got this. And like people, like if you can judge that, that's fine. But just understand that you don't understand. Or don't understand, whatever. Again, I'm not going to argue about anything. Anybody can do whatever they want. Just do your best, please, to live your best life to the best of your ability. May we all stay blessed, prosperous, abundant, highly favored, and realize how resilient we are, because we've been through some shit and we are still here, and we're out here breaking generational chains and curses. So remember to have a good time. I was listening to this lady that was like, if you can't take a shower, use some baby wipes or something, because you at least deserve to be clean. And if you can't really cook or don't have that much food, okay, go ahead and get a frozen pizza. And I'm like, we're on frozen pizza number I don't know what. And I know I'm a mom and I'm a woman, so I'm supposed to be Betty Crocker and love to do all that. And I'm like, okay, and then who has all that Betty Crocker food? And like a car to go get it and a home to put it in, and then can pay all the bills consistently to keep some in there, and then all the stuff that comes with it, especially if you have giant children or just children at all, and you're a human or whatever living in this world. Shout out to everyone going through some shit. I know everybody's going through something. And people are like, oh, I've been through worse. Well, then you go to therapy too, bitch, because you didn't deserve that. Like, people be wanting to do push-ups with their face. I don't want to. No, my feelings were hurt. Are you okay? I am not. Like that lady, like Moaning Myrtle from Harry Potter. Like, they were like, why are you crying? And she was like, I'm distraught. What the fuck do you mean? She got eaten by a snake, dragon, whatever, in a bathroom. Then they want to blame her, like, oh, Moaning Myrtle, so annoying. Well, she still helped their ass, didn't she? I don't know. Whatever, but choose yourself, because bitches are going to be bitches. People are going to do whatever, and you never know when somebody's going to switch up. But you don't have to switch up on yourself. You can love yourself. You can pour into yourself, which will then help you to pour into others. So putting yourself first is a big deal. And as a parent and as a mother, it's like, oh, that's a horrible thing. No, it's not. And they do say on an airplane, you have to put your mask on first before you can literally help anybody else. I hope this helps someone. Have a great day. Do something good for yourself. And remember, chill out on all that. Like, tell that inner critic to kiss my ass. Okay? Not saying, because people are like, oh, well, I have to have my goal. Right, and you can have your goals, bitch. I didn't say that. I didn't say you didn't have to. I'm just saying, can you celebrate the win that we're still here? And if anybody made it to the end of this video, I don't know, throw a pickle on here. I don't know what that made me think of. I got celibacy thoughts. Anyway, y'all have a great day, night, morning, weekend, life. May we all have a great day, a great night, a great weekend, a great 2025, and just a great existence to the best of our ability with our loved ones. Ashe.